everyone, it's time for our NFL review here. Just a few notes before this. WhatTheBuck, the actual Michael Buckley, and myself got into a little exchange on Twitter. I got a link in the video description. I put together a picture of some of the tweets. You can take a look at that. And also, if you go directly to my Twitter, you'll find all the tweets, because I put like some of the highlight tweets in a picture on my website. But anyway, I didn't really hold anything back with that guy, and he seems to be sticking to his guns about making a gaming channel, and Crixus doesn't like him either, apparently. All right, now I'm going to do the NFL review here. Since it's baseball time and the end of the baseball season, I just want to give my thoughts about the World Series here real quick, since I don't want to make a whole video about the World Series. Let me get the slobber off my face here. Detroit and San Francisco. Now, everyone and their mother is pretty much picking Detroit to win this series. I think Detroit's going to win this series. I think they'll probably win it in 6 games, but I will not be stunned if San Francisco wins this series. I know Detroit's coming in with the hot hand right now, but I mean, let's us all forget the series 2 years ago, the NLCS between the Phillies and the San Francisco Giants. And the Phillies are coming off a sweep of the Reds in the NLDS, including Holiday pitching a no-hitter. You can't get much hotter than that. Went in to face the Giants in the NLCS and ended up losing in 6 games. So San Francisco knows how to get it done against teams that are playing hot baseball, which is what Detroit's playing right now. Now, the interesting thing I found, and I never really noticed if the pitching matchups look like this for the World Series, but as of right now, I'm sorry, getting distracted. Kane is scheduled to pitch for San Francisco in Game 5, and that's the first game he's scheduled to pitch. And I was like, why would they have Matt Kane come in Game 5? Like, why not have him come in Game 2, pitch maybe Game 4 possibly if they rush him, or Game 6? He's only scheduled to pitch 1 game in this series, and I'm like, well, that's got to change. And you figure it would too, because Verlander is only scheduled to pitch 2 games in this series right now as far as the starting roster goes. But you got to think that's going to change up, especially if San Francisco gets ahead in this series real quick. Like if it's 3-0, Verlander's pitching Game 4. Right now he's scheduled to pitch Game 5. So I actually think Kane's scheduled to pitch Game 4, but whatever. The point is, Kane is only scheduled to pitch 1 game. Verlander's only scheduled to pitch 2 games. Basically, I think San Francisco's starting lineup, as far as their pitching rotation goes, is much more solid than Detroit's. The only weak link right now in the pitching rotation, besides Lincecum, who's not even going to start in this series, let's not kid ourselves, is Bumgarner. He's scheduled to pitch, I think it's either Game 2 or 3. Other than that, Barry Zito's starting off tomorrow night, and as much of a shit pitcher he's been in the past few years, that boy has been clutch in the postseason thus far this year. Pitching a hell of a baseball game right now, and last week. Anyway, Detroit in 6 games. Let's get on to the football picks. Week 7 review. I went 9-4. 9-4. Again, I get 4 wins the previous week, and then I get 4 losses the next week. This is the 2nd time that has happened for me. So just to show you how back and forth I am with picks. So which means this next week I'll probably only get 4 games correct. I picked quite a few upsets, not to get into the picks section too much, but let's go over the review here, and hopefully Crixus. And look, we have special Halloween themed Crixus toys. Oh, Crixus! Crixus! Oh, my God! Oh, God! Oh! Okay, the Halloween themed toy has been savagely murdered by Crixus. Alright, Alright, for the 2nd time this year, I managed to pick a Thursday night football game correctly, but holy shit, was this, I don't know if I want to call it a boring game or what, but 13-6, San Francisco over Seattle. in what could be considered a battle of the defenses. Crixus! What could be seen as a battle of the defenses, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because both teams are known for having very strong defenses, so and not really having explosive offensives. So you really shouldn't be too surprised with this score. All right, apparently we're gonna. Okay, hey, welcome back. Anyway, Gore had about 130 rushing yards, so. It's pretty much the team's success offensively for the 49ers is going to go as far as Gore takes them. I wouldn't really necessarily rely on Smith to lead you to any big fourth quarter comebacks or anything like that. So, yeah, that's the story of that game. Tennessee lost to Buffalo. I got this game wrong, but man, I was wrong by an ass hair. 35-4, Buffalo loses, and Buffalo, in all honesty, should have won this game. Fitzpatrick showed up like I thought he would. Okay, he didn't have a 300-yard-plus day, but he threw a pretty solid game, and yeah, anyway, Tennessee is kind of that team where it's like, well, are they going to be shitty this week, or are they going to be explosive this week? This was a week where their offense was explosive, and that's why this team's not going anywhere, is they don't know what team they are taking the field every single week. It's just a coin flip. This one week they show up, the next week they don't. The Giants beating Washington. Now, this is a game where I don't know what the hell Washington was thinking on that last touchdown they gave up to Cruz. I mean, they had him guarded well the whole game. They get a big comeback by RG3 to take over the lead in this game. And they just let Manning go to Cruz and like score a touchdown and like, okay, and like 40 seconds left in the game or whatever it was. I don't know. I'm trying to black out what happened at the end of that game because I hate the Giants so much that I'm willing to root for an NFC East team over them. RG3 though is showing me that he is the real deal. I'm scared of him right now. And I'm scared of what he's going to do to my Philadelphia Eagles. Like, I do not see them containing him. I see finally the Redskins being not the bitch of the NFC East anymore, and I see the Eagles potentially ending up as the bitch of the NFC East. Thank God we have Dallas in this division to take the heat off of us. But anyway, yeah, RG3 is the real deal. Very good game, probably the game of the week of the games that I saw. And you guys are gonna just stare at Crixus's head and eyeball in the whole video. All right. Who's a good Crixus? Who's a... Now you're a vampire dog! Okay, now Crixus is going to be a vampire and he's going to... Okay, look at that. He's doing sexually naughty things with the vampire puppet. Crixus! Come on, this is a family show. Anyway, well, I hope you guys like seeing Crixus in these videos because he's being quite the entertainer today. Alright, now he's going to be my little table stand here. Alright, so we've got New Orleans beating Tampa Bay in an absolute heartbreaker. The final few minutes of this game were quite possibly the most entertaining few minutes in football this week. Josh Freeman... I don't know how he's playing this competitive football. Somehow he is managing to do it. And leads Tampa down on a fourth quarter drive that looks as impressive as any other top tier quarterback in the league. And loses. It's a fair call. It's the right call. The receiver goes out of bounds, comes back inbounds, and is the first one to touch the ball. I mean, it's basically losing by a technicality, but the rule is the rule, and Tampa fans crying about that, all five of you just need to chill. I mean, it would have been called on Drew Brees, it would have been called on Brett Favre, it would have been called on anyone else. Yeah, sucks, but that's the way it ends. Dallas, I predicted you to win and you came through! Barely! Oh my God, the battle of the two shit teams of the NFC. 19-14, Dallas beats the Carolina Panthers. Man, this is just another game where I'm like, is Cam Newton going to show up this year? We'll get to that in a second, because I want to save that for the review portion of the show. I mean, for the prediction part, because he's playing a certain team that he busted up pretty bad last year next week. Anyway, Houston Houston in an absolute complete annihilation of Baltimore. And Baltimore brought Suggs back for what reason I do not know. Baltimore is the best team in this division. Without Suggs, without Ray Lewis, you could put the 2 worst linebackers in the league on Baltimore, and they're still the most dominant team in their division. And why you want to rush someone back from an ACL tear is beyond me. The team's 5-1. Okay, if you get in a hole and you start flirting with 500 ball, then you bring him in. But this shit of rushing him back, ooh, after I think it was like 6-7 months. But yeah, actually not even that long. It was like 5 months ago he tore his ACL. But anyway, Baltimore just gets completely annihilated. And again, for the 500th time, the weakest link on this team is Joey Flacco. It's always been Joey Flacco. It always will be Joey Flacco because he shit the bed. He didn't even have a 500%, 500% completion ratio. He completed, I think it was like 21 of 43 passes. That's fucking garbage. It's garbage. You can get backup quarterbacks that can put those kind of stats up. And it's not like the Texans' defense is that big. They lost their best linebacker for the year. And again, I just don't know why people believe in Flacco. I mean, okay, he wins a lot of postseason games. Granted, a lot of them have been on the backs of his defense, but anyway. Team is as far as Flacco will take him, much like with San Francisco and Gore. But again, at least Baltimore has Ray Rice to lean on as well. Okay. Indianapolis beats Cleveland in a game where Cleveland lost the game because the receiver ran into sunlight. It was like a vampire. Like, here, let me recreate the end of the game. Here he is. Oh, I'm going to catch the ball. Oh, sunlight. Oh. That's what happened. That's how the game ended. A receiver just, runs into sunlight, and Josh Whedon's like, what the fuck, asshole? Why didn't you catch that ball? And then Josh Whedon went, why didn't you catch the ball? And a dog came by and ate his ass while he's punching him in the face. Anyway, yeah, heartbreaking loss for Cleveland, but then again, they're the Cleveland Brownies, so. And I picked against them basically because I hated the way Indianapolis got annihilated by the Jets the week before, so. We all know Indianapolis was going to win this game just between you and me, but, I picked against them just to be the dick I am. And another team I picked to win, the St. Louis Rams, they lost to the Green Bay Packers 30-20. Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers, and I'm still not too confident in the Packers because they just give up just too many goddamn points this year, and but that's pretty much their MO. To give up a lot of points but just score more points. Yeah, okay, I'm back to thinking that they're a pretty decent team now, but we'll see where they go in the future. Minnesota! Beat Arizona. Arizona, 3-game losing streak. All you Arizona fans, here you go. Here, everyone listen. You're going to hear the sounds of the Arizona fans. That's right, they're panting because they got beat so bad over the past few weeks. They're exhausted, like, I can't take losing anymore. Oh my God, why did this team tease us? Why did we go out and win the first 4 games just to lose the next 3 games? Oh my God, okay. Or did they win the first 3 games? I don't know, whatever it was. Anyway, Crixus. Oh, Crixus, look, the couch is on fire. The couch is on fire, go check it out. All right. While Crixus is checking out the couch that's on fire, we'll go through the rest of the picks here. Minnesota, I guess they're the real deal. I mean, Jesus Christ. NFC North is just a wacky place this year. New England beating the Jets in overtime, 29-26. Oh boy, Rex Ryan probably hit the cheeseburgers after this game. He was probably so depressed. I mean, just Tom Brady just took that game from the grasp of defeat, and Sanchez was Sanchez in typical fashion, basically just losing the game in the end, taking a sack and fumbling in the end, because that's what Sanchez is, a loser. Anyway, Oakland beats Jacksonville in the who gives a fuck game of the week by 3 points in overtime, 26-23. Again, who cares about this game? Like, I mean, there's no offense to any of you fans of Oakland or Jacksonville, but yeah. Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati 24-17, though this game was a lot closer. Well, I mean, finished as a one-score win for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was kind of shaky in a lot of the game. In fact, it looked like through a lot of the game that that Cincinnati was going to just run away with this one at any moment. But Pittsburgh did their thing. They won a game on the road, which is astonishing this year. And they finished out. Roethlisberger had almost 300 yards. Almost 300 yards passing. And finishing out the week for Week 7 as we stare at the back of Crixus' head and face. We have Chicago beating Detroit 13-7. This game was a lot more dominating than what this score actually looks like. Chicago, at no point did you feel that they were gonna like blow this game, even when they were winning 13-0 through most of the game. You were like, oh, there's no way Chicago's going to give up 2 scoring drives. They just controlled the game. Yeah, they gave up just some pity points in the ends there, but you knew Chicago was going to win this game pretty much after the first quarter because they just had this game on lockdown. And yep, Chicago, I have them coming out on top in the NFC North in my preseason predictions. So I know a lot of Green Bay fans took offense to that, but that's why they're playing ball and they're backing it up. Anyway. Let's go with the next week's predictions for Week 8. Previous week I went 9-4. I don't know if I said that. The byes this week: Buffalo, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Houston. And so we're going to start with Thursday night: Tampa Bay at Minnesota. I think Minnesota's due for a loss. Like I said, I picked a lot of upsets this week. I know it's at Minnesota. I just really feel Minnesota's going to hit a wall this week, and not that they should be panicked if they get blown out or anything like that. I think there's a small chance they'll get blown out by Tampa Bay. But again, Freeman, for whatever reason, I mean, I have him picked as one of the worst quarterbacks in the league to start the season, and yet he's putting up stats. I mean, he's not lighting the league on fire, but he's putting up very solid numbers for what anyone expected from this guy. So Look for a big upset here. Look for a big upset in Tampa. Or if I lose, it's just going to be typical for my MO for Thursday night games. Crixus, please don't keep. He's got his head under the tripod. Crixus, hoy! Go! Couch is back on fire again. Quick. Okay. While he's investigating the couch, we'll go through more of these picks here. Carolina at Chicago. Now, I mentioned before that Cam Newton basically blew the doors off a team last year. Last year, when Cam Newton went into Chicago, he set, or actually the offense for Carolina set a record for games at Soldier Field with, it was like 500 million yards of offense for the game. Actually, it was like 530. But anyway, and Cam Newton was a big part of that. So you got to wonder if this is the point where he's going to be like, oh, I remember what I did to this team last year, and we're going to do it again. Maybe he'll find himself in this game, but until Cam Newton plays a decent game, I ain't ever going to pick him to beat a decent team. Chicago's got this one. We'll see if Cam Newton can find his mojo. If he can, then who knows? Maybe he can resurrect this season for the Panthers, but it's kind of too far into the hole to pull it out of the fire at this point. San Diego at Cleveland. I got San Diego winning this one. The Brownies are playing tough football, a lot tougher than I care to admit because they are the Brownies and they're just like usually the laughingstock of the league. Again, lost an absolute heartbreaker. Again, remember the sunlight. Oh, seriously? Oh, seriously? No! Crixus! He saw a squirrel or something. Anyway, Crixus, can we silence him? Girlfiend's not cooperating. Anyway, Seattle at Detroit. By the way, San Diego is winning at Cleveland. Crixus! Champion of Capua, silence thine mouth! Seattle at Detroit. Detroit is due for a win. Detroit is due for another win since they beat my Eagles. I want to relive that memory. Which, by the way, it was good not to have an Eagles game this week. I actually got to watch and enjoy football and not have to vomit before I watched the second Sunday game. Anyway, the Detroit Lions are due for a win. Seattle is playing off a so-so performance against San Francisco. I know, Crixus, I know. Okay, so Detroit's going to win at Detroit. They're going to beat that Seattle Seahawk ass. Okay. Crixus, the couch is on fire again. Look. Falls for that every time. New England at St. Louis. St. Louis, you're playing pretty decent ball, but Tom Brady's going to come in and win this one. That's all there is to it. Look for Gronkowski to have another pair of touchdowns in this game. Miami at New York facing the Jets. I originally picked Miami to win their first matchup of the year. I have the Jets winning this one. The Jets somehow, someway are playing well with all these injuries to their team, and and winning with Sanchez and playing competitive football. So look for the Jets to win. Atlanta at Philadelphia. Never thought I would have to say the Eagles are in a must-win situation at Week 8. Week 8, the Eagles are in must-win football situation. This is a game where if Atlanta wins this game and they dominate, look for a complete revamping of this team. Like this has the potential of getting Michael Vick benched, of getting Andy Reid fired, of getting Morningweg fired as the offensive coordinator, of just any one of the three or all three happening. I mean, this could be bad. Now, Andy Reid has never lost after the bye week. And who does he get to face this time? The Atlanta Falcons, who are playing undefeated football right now. That's fantastic. But Atlanta is due for a loss. Atlanta is winning, but they're winning close games. But then you'd say, oh, Archie, the only games that Philadelphia's won have been close games. True. But for whatever reason, Andy Reid has found a way to win after the bye, and stuck with Andy and watched him give me just disappointing football team after disappointing football team. I'm going to stick with him until Jeffrey Lurie says, get the fuck off my field. Eagles are going to win at home against the Atlanta Falcons. Washington at Pittsburgh. I'm a big believer in RG3. Washington's winning at Pittsburgh. And again, I absolutely fear what RG3 is going to... If this game doesn't get Andy Reid fired this week, one of the Washington games will, because I see RG3 fucking the Eagles up. Anyway, I see Washington pulling out a big win, and I see RG3 doing very big things in this league, though I see him having a very short, sustained career, kind of like Michael Vick. He's going to hit a wall after about his 8th year in the league, because he's going to get busted up one too many times. Jacksonville at Green Bay. Who are we kidding? Green Bay is going to dominate this game. Indianapolis at Tennessee. Who are we kidding? Indianapolis is going to dominate this game. All right, they're not going to dominate. They're going to barely win. I look for this to be a potential overtime winner. Oakland at Kansas City. How bad must Matt Castle feel to know that he's okay to come back in the lineup and he's being benched in favor of Brady Quinn, who lost against the Buccaneers, I do believe, 2 weeks ago, like 30-10. Wow, that just speaks volumes about what a shit situation there is in Kansas City. I do believe Kansas City just fired their GM as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, Carolina just fired their GM. So anyways, Indianapolis is going to beat Tennessee. Oakland is going to beat Kansas City, so that goes without saying. New York Giants at Dallas. Eli Manning going to the house of Eli Manning, a.k.a. The Jerry Jones Princess Castle. Look for Eli Manning just to fuck shit up again, as he always does in Dallas. I mean, I don't know what it is, but he plays like an MVP, first ballot Hall of Famer every time he goes into Dallas. Why should I doubt that he's not going to do it again this time? Sorry, Dallas, but you're Eli's bitch. New Orleans at Denver. Look for this game to have 63 combined points. I see this being a shootout, and I see Drew Brees wanting to stand up on a grand stage. This It's a primetime game on Sunday Night Football. Oh, hello everyone. He's gonna want to do a shootout with Peyton Manning here. And all right, can I not get interrupted here? Okay. Anyways, Drew Brees. Look for him to be the standout star of this game. Peyton Manning's gonna put up solid numbers again as usual. Look for this to be like a 35-32 type game. Yeah. San Francisco ending the week at Arizona. Oh, poor Arizona. You're on a 3-game losing streak, and now you got to play the 49ers. That sucks for you. Make that a 4-game losing streak. San Francisco's coming in to the University of Phoenix Stadium, and they are going to mud stomp, curb stomp, whatever. I don't know what I was saying there. Stomp a mud hole. Jesus. I got my Jarrah lines mixed up. So anyways, all right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Crixus. You did a good job. Come here, Crixus. Just, okay, stand in front of the camera. Girlfriend may or may not be taunting him to do that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Back to focus. All right. Anyways, video description, that conversation of what the Buck and I had. Again, check my Twitter for the full list of the conversation that him and I had yesterday, because again, he's still sticking to his guns about creating that gaming channel because he just wants to do it for fun. That's what he said. He just thinks it's fun to do, and he's not being a whore about it in any way. You can't even see my mouth move. Now you can. Anyway, all right, guys. Take care. Enjoy your football. Crixus, the couch is still on fire, and you don't care. Have a great day, everyone.